How you doing? This video will cover shiny hunting all the first partner Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. The Indigo Disc DLC and any associated biome upgrades in the terrarium are required for all but 2 of these hunts. There will be a shiny sandwich active at all times during my gameplay. I will not be covering the Masuda method, but I may make a video on eggs and their quirks at some other time. Bulbasaur. The habitat. And where we will be going. For the sandwich active, it is the only land spawn, aside from static spawns. Charmander. The habitat. And where we will be going. As soon as you enter the terrarium, everything here that is fire type and not a static spawn is Charmander. I would recommend not doing this at night, as Pyroar can take up some of those spawns. But up here it's mostly just Charmander. Squirtle. Its habitat. Squirtle cannot be isolated, but its outbreaks can spawn around here. I would recommend resetting for an outbreak. You do not need a sandwich to reset for an outbreak, but it might help. That's right, I said first partner Pokemon. That includes Pikachu. And its habitat. And one of the places you can go. In this area, it is exclusively Pikachu and Pichu. If you would like to exclusively hunt Pikachu, the set of trees is exclusively Pikachu. As a bonus, if you would like to exclusively hunt Pichu, come to Kitakami. Go to the Infernal Pass waypoint. Where the ground texture changes, you will notice it is Pichu everywhere. In case you need to see a shiny Pichu by a regular Pichu, here you go. Next we have Eevee, and its habitat. You will need an outbreak. I like this location, and one over here. There are more, but these are my favorite. I have never had a good outbreak in Medali, but it's possible. Now, I do have an outbreak, but let's say you don't, and you need to reset for one. With your game open, go to your home menu, your system settings, scroll down to system, then date and time, synchronize off, current date and time, and tap OK. If you're quick, when you go back in the game, this should reset your outbreaks. What if you have an outbreak, but the day is almost over, and it's going to disappear? What do? The answer is, you perpetuate the outbreak. If your game is saved, when you close and go to your system settings, similar to resetting, you go to your system and your date and time. Synchronize off. Just make sure the month, day, and year are the same, but you turn the clock back to midnight. I give myself a few minutes buffer. When you open the game back up the next time, and you check your map, you should notice the outbreak is still there. If you know anything about outbreaks, you know that after 60 knockouts, your shiny chances are maxed. In a location like this, it's rather easy to do picnic resets. And that's what I would do here. Easy. If you enjoy a challenge, there is a static Eevee spawn right over here. Chikorita. Its habitat. All of the Gen 2 starter Pokemon have terrible spawn rates and will require an outbreak. I like the one that spawns right around here, by the edge of the map. A recurring theme with grass-type starters is, if you can't isolate it, it shares a spawn with everything. Eggs, eggs, deer, eggs, and one pair, taking a nap. Cyndaquil. Its habitat, and the location of its cave. If you have a Switch 2, you do not need an outbreak for this. A sandwich being active is sufficient. I never attempted this on the Switch 1, but I heard that an outbreak was required. I'm showing you how I get to the cave, because it took me too long to find this the first time. You can see the cave right there. I prefer to do my picnic resets right here. And then just jump off. Where the terrain changes, you can pop open your camera and watch them spawn. When you feel that the room has been filled, go on, take a peek, and do your picnic reset. Totodile. Its habitat. And the pond we will be going to. This is by far the worst of every starter Pokemon. It is extremely hard to get a sighting for, and even more difficult to find an outbreak for. But it is possible. While it is, of course, 100% possible to find a shiny one in this pond without an outbreak, it is more of a requirement than a recommendation that you get an outbreak. There's a guy. Trico. Its habitat. And where we will be going. As compensation for how hard it is to find any Gen 2 starter, Gen 3 was given a much kinder lot. In this area here, that looks like the nature reserve, Trico is our only grass spawn. And the color stands out quite a lot from anything in this area. Torchic. Its habitat. And I will ping its cave on the map. You can follow along to find this cave. From on top of this land bridge, overlooking the Dragon Arena, if you drop down, you will see the cave. There's a Metang in here. You can knock it out. I like to hide in this corner. And you can auto battle chickens or just picnic reset and watch them spawn. Mudkip. Its habitat. And how we will get there. It's easy to get lost in here, but there are ways to do perfect loops and circles. Mudkip is the only water spawn in here. You should have no difficulties locating your purple fish. Turtwig. Its habitat. And where we will be going. It is all turtles here, and you can just picnic reset. Chimchar. Its habitat. And where we will be going. Pretty much anywhere on top of this mountain with a fire sandwich active is either Chimchar or Scorbunny. Yep. Piplup. Its habitat. I would recommend getting an outbreak for Piplup. I like the one that spawns in this location. Otherwise, you cannot isolate it. But the outbreaks are more common than things like Squirtle and Totodile. Snivy. Its habitat. This is another one you will want an outbreak for. I like the one over here. This is a lot less difficult than some other ones, as it will spawn in packs of 5, but you are still going to be fighting the eggs almost everywhere you go. Tepig. Its habitat. And where we will be going. Do you see it? We got lucky. We didn't even make it to where we were going. A critical capture. And another one for the books. You can see that Tepig is plentiful and exclusive. But I like this area. Oshawott. Its habitat. Exactly like Piplup, you are going to want an outbreak. I tend to find that it will spawn on land surfaces, not just water. I am just continuing from the Piplup clip because I can see Oshawotts. Oshawotters? Oshawott. Plural. Chespin. Its habitat. And the only place you're going. I'm pretty much just including him in here because I have to. I think every YouTuber has covered this exclusive Chespin Cavern. If you have a sandwich, you have an outbreak. Go crazy. Finnegan. Its habitat, and where we will be going. You don't necessarily need an outbreak for this one, but I would recommend it. As an additional side note, anytime you hunt over by this Pride Rock area in the savannah, if it is nighttime, there are Pyroar, and they will take up a majority of your spawns. If it is, however, the daytime, it will be split a little bit more evenly between Magmar, Finnegan, and Magby. Froakie. Its habitat, and where we will be going. With a water sandwich active, this whole island is Froakie spawns. They are small, so you may not want to sprint and jump and fly around. I actually found all 3 of my Froakie in an outbreak. I did not know that this was the case. Thank you, Johnstone. Rowlet. Its habitat. Thankfully, this is the last time I will recommend searching for an outbreak. I tend to find that these areas up here by this cube house are a good place to find them. Litten. Its habitat, and where we will be going. And yes, I did copy and paste this because it's exactly the same as Turtwig, just with a different sandwich active. Cat. Poplio. Its habitat, and where we will be going. With your water sandwich active, this beach is Poplio Beach. Grookey. Its habitat, and where we will be going. Those of you with keen eyes may notice this is exactly the same as Poplio. The only difference here is that the spawns are split a bit 50-50 with Bellossom. I don't think this is a huge problem. You can look for an outbreak, but you're gonna find monkeys. And flowers. Scorbunny. Its habitat, and where we will be going. Again, this is a copy and paste. This is the same hunt as Chimchar. It's 50-50. If you don't find one, you'll find the other. Not that you really need my recommendation, but you may as well hunt them both at the same time. Sobble. Its habitat, and where we will be going. From the front of the terrarium, we just go to this pond, And Sobble is the only water spawn in this pond. Or I guess it's more of a puddle. If you focus your camera towards the center, it should focus the spawns in that area. It may not seem like it does a huge difference, but on Switch 1 it most certainly does focus your spawns in the middle of the pond. So that's our restarter in Scarlet and Violet. If I missed anything, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and enjoy a peek at my collection.